Okay, Ramya, where is the Dayashil? He has gone to sleep. He has given me his Aadhaar card.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, he has gone to hospital with my mother-in-law. She had gone through a operation, a minor operation.
Acha, acha. Okay. So we see that how Krishna rescues for the second time the Pandavas from the attack of Ashwathama. And all the Pandavas are having so much of gratitude in their heart. The altitude in bhakti is possible by attitude of gratitude. Altitude, you understand, na? If somebody wants to progress or enhance his bhakti, and we will see what is the gratitude. How grateful is the heart of all the Pandavas. Please see, this last translation was very, very important. Thus saved from the radiation of the Brahmastra, Kunti, the chaste devotee of the Lord, and her 5 sons, and Draupadi addressed Lord Kṛṣṇa as he started from her. So speaker is Kunti Devi, but the attitude is felt in the heart with all the Pandavas. Very, very beautiful section of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The first set of prayers in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is by Kunti Devi. How she appreciates, admires, and acknowledges the blessings, the benedictions, the protection of Lord Kṛṣṇa towards his devotee. Kunti uvāca namasye puruṣaṁ tvādyam īśvaram prakṛteḥ param alakṣyam sarva-bhūtānām antar bahir avasthitam. So Kunti Devi begins by offering her respects. She says, namasye. And to whom is he addressing? She is not addressing to her nephew. She is addressing to puruṣaṁ, who is the enjoyer. There can be many enjoyers, there can be many purusha, but she is very clear. What is Kṛṣṇa? Namasye puruṣam tvādyam. Ādyam means one who is original, one who is the fountainhead. So she is offering her respects to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the origin of all being. How is the origin of all being? He is īśvaram. He is the master of everyone. In fact, he is the master of the prakrti. He is the master of this cosmic manifestation. So he is param. He is the highest. And he is alakṣyaṁ sarva-bhūtānām. He cannot be known or approached by all the conditioned souls. Sarva-bhūtānām, alakṣyam. He cannot be, what is alakṣyam mentioned here is invisible. Okay. He is invisible to all the living entities. However, he is antar, bahir, avasthitam. He is situated inside as the Paramatma, and bahir he is outside also. And he is existing everywhere. So this is the realization of Kunti Devi. Śrīmatī Kuntī said, "O Kṛṣṇa, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality. Puruṣaṁ tvādyam." See, ādyam means he is the original person, and he is īśvara, not only of everyone, but also of the cosmic manifestation, the material cosmos. And he is param, he is beyond. So because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world, because you are the master and the controller of the material world, the material modes. You are existing both within and without everything. The Supreme Lord is there present within everyone as Paramatma, and he is manifest outside everywhere by his energies. Yet you are invisible to all. Okay. So please, these verses, I would request, please memorize. I will repeat once, very simple. Yeah. Namasye puruṣaṁ tvādyam īśvara prakṛteḥ param alakṣyam sarva-bhūtānām antar bahir avasthitam. Very similar to the prayers of Arjuna in the 10th chapter. So very important. As we proceed in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we will at least make a very sincere attempt to try to integrate the prayers of these great personalities who have very much pleased the Lord. And because they have pleased the Lord, they are being, mentioned in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So at least some of their prayers we should memorize and we should repeat every day. I know many, many devotees who keep, when they go in front of their lordships, they recite the prayers. Not every time that we have our own wish list. Dhanam Dei, this day, that day. Instead of that, if you recite the prayers of these devotees who are very dear to Kṛṣṇa, so Kṛṣṇa's attention is immediately toward that devotee who is reciting the prayers. Śrīmatī Kuntī Devi was quite aware that Kṛṣṇa is the original personality of Godhead, although he was playing the part of the nephew. So he was not addressing the part of the nephew. Kṛṣṇa Chakravarti Thakur says that Kṛṣṇa objected. He said, "Why? You are my aunt. Why are you offering me respects?" But Kunti Devi is not offering respect just to his nephew. She also knows that Kṛṣṇa, being her nephew, is also puruṣaṁ ādyam. He is the original personality of Godhead, although he was playing the part of the nephew. Such an enlightened lady, Prabhupada very highly writes of Śrīmatī Kuntī Devi, that such an enlightened lady would not commit a mistake by offering obeisances unto her nephew. Therefore, she addressed him as original puruṣaṁ. Namasye puruṣaṁ ādyam. And he is īśvara prakṛteḥ param. He is beyond the material cosmos. Why? Because he is īśvara of prakrti. He is the master, he is the controller, he is the originator. He is beyond the material cosmos. Example is given, like we see the puppets. When there is a puppet show, what do we see? We see the puppets dancing. But how the puppets are dancing? Because there is the puppeteer who is making the puppets dance. But do we see the puppeteer? No, we don't see the puppeteer. So he is alakṣyaṁ sarva-bhūtānām. Although all the living entities are also transcendental, okay, first let us understand this. They are neither original nor infallible. So Kṛṣṇa is both. So he is Purusha also and he is ādyam also. Because he is the original and he is infallible. The living entities are apt to fall down under the clutches of material nature, but the Lord is never like that. In the Vedas, therefore, he is described as the chief amongst all the entities. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko yo vidadhati kama. So he is the one who is fulfilling the desires of all others. In the Vedas, therefore, he is described as the chief. Okay, Katha Upanishad. Then again, he is addressed as īśvara or the controller. The living entities or the demigods like Indra, Chandra and Surya are also to some extent īśvara. But none of them is supreme īśvara. He is Parameshwara. He is Param. Īśvara Param. See how this prayer is filled with her realization. So there can be many īśvara, but he is param, he is parameshwar. He is beyond both. He is beyond the material nature also, and he is also beyond the demigods. He is Parameshwara. He is beyond both Surya, Indra, and Chandra. But none of them is supreme Ishvara or the ultimate controller. He is the Parameshwara or the super soul. He is both within and without. So I will want to know how he is within. Why Kunti Devi is saying that he is within. How is that experience that he is within? Pranav, why your video is off? You may answer. How is the experience of Kunti Devi that she is saying that he is within? Yes, Sonika.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Lord reside inside our heart along with the soul in the form of super soul Paramatma.
That is information known to everyone, but Kunti Devi is giving her realization, na? What made her say that he is within? Answer, it is nothing in context to what we are discussing. Pick up simple. Very simple. Connect. Don't disconnect. Yes.
Prabhuji, in 14th verse, it was mentioned that Lord is within us in form of Paramatma. So he created he created a cover around the embryo inside in the form
Yeah,
of
he
that.
entered. He entered into the embryo and saved Parikshit from the Brahmastra. That is the realization, the profound experience Kunti Devi is excellent. Kunti Devi is not speaking just story heard from here and there. She witnessed that how Krishna entered into the embryo of Uttara Devi and protected her from the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. So she is here addressing Krishna as antar, bahir, avasthitam. And the Acharya gives the comment that like a puppeteer who is never to be seen, who is behind the curtain controlling. So Kunti Devi affirms that the Lord, although both within and without all living being, is still invisible. Why is invisible? How is invisible? That also she will speak. The Lord is, so to speak, a puzzle for the common man. Prabhupada's genius. The Lord is, so to speak, a puzzle for the common man. When Queen Kunti experienced personally that Lord Krishna was present before her, yes, here comes the answer. Yet he entered within the womb of Uttara to save her embryo from the attack of Ashwatthama's Brahmastra. Kunti herself was puzzled about whether Sri Krishna is all pervasive or localized. So, what is your view? Is Krishna all pervasive or localized? Please answer. Why only Sonika has to answer? Others are not hearing. Now I'm asking a simple question. Is Kṛṣṇa localized or all pervasive? What is the reply? Ravindra Prabhu? What is the answer?
Is localized and pervasive both.
Yes, that is the right answer. But your confidence is very shaky. He is both. He is all pervasive as well as localized. He is both. In fact, he is both. Here comes the reply. In fact, he is both. But he reserves the right of not being exposed to persons who are not surrendered soul. What is the evidence? What is the evidence that he is not exposed to persons who are not surrendered soul? Yes, Pranav?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse, Naham prakasha sarvasya jugamaya smarjita.
Yes. Very good. Many places. Avajananti ma mura. Then Krishna says, Bhaktya tu aranya shakya. Only by those devotees who are surrendered to him by performing devotional service, he reveals himself. Other, he reserves himself of not being exposed or experienced. This checking curtain is called Maya's energy of the Supreme Lord, and it controls the limited vision of the rebellious soul. It is explained as follows. So Kṛṣṇa is antar, bahir, but what is at the same time? He is alakṣyaṁ sarva-bhūtānām. Very beautiful. He is antar, bahir, but he is alakṣyaṁ sarva-bhūtānām. And first, you see, there is glorification of Kṛṣṇa, that how great he is, namasye puruṣaṁ tvādyam, and he is īśvara prakṛteḥ param. And then she says that he is alakṣyam sarva-bhūtānām and antar bahir avasthitam. And how he is alakṣyam sarva-bhūtānām, this he explains in the next verse. We'll see the next verse as Prabhupada is saying here. Maya javanika channam. Maya javanika channam. Agna adhokshajam avyayam. Na alakṣyase mūrdrisha. Nato natya dharo yatha. How is alakṣyam sarva-bhūtānām? Because there is a curtain. Channam. Channam means covering. And how is the covering? By javanika, by curtain. And what is this covering or curtain of? Maya. So Maya has the covering potency, the curtain. And how it covers? Agna. Agna means those who are ignorant. And Kṛṣṇa is adhokshajam. He is beyond the range of our mind and senses, material conception, because he is transcendental. So Maya javanika channam, to whom? Agna. Agna means foolish, ignorant. And Kṛṣṇa is adhokshajam and avyayam. Avyayam means inexhaustible, and avyayam also means irreproachable. He cannot be approached. He cannot be reached. Na alakṣyaye mūrdrisha. He cannot be observed by those who are mudha. Mudha means those who are foolish. And Drisha means observer. Why? Because he is nato natya dharo yatha. He is a nata. Nata, you understand? Huh? Those who play. And dressed as a player. Not as a drama. In the drama, if somebody plays a role, origin of him is something else. But he plays a part. So he is playing a part. Nato natya dharo yatha. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception. That is alakṣyam. You are eternally irreproachable, covered by the curtain of deluding energy. Maya javanika channam. So you are eternally irreproachable. Why? Because the covering potency covers the knowledge of the conditioned soul and makes him remain foolish. Agna. That is on the one hand. And on the other hand, you are adokshajam. You are beyond the sense perception. You are beyond the range of one's mind and senses. So you are invisible to the foolish observer. Murdisha. Na alakṣya murdisha. Exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. Nato natyam dharo yatha. Nato natya dharo yatha. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna affirms that less intelligent person mistake him to be an ordinary man. Avajananti mamudha manushim tanumāśrita. Why? Because param bhavam ajanantam. They do not know the param bhavam, the superior nature of the Supreme Lord. Like here, Kunti Devi is saying that you are īśvara prakṛteḥ param. That Krishna is beyond the prakrti. And he is beyond every demigod. He is param. But Krishna says that less intelligent person mistake him to be an ordinary man like us, and thus they deride him. The same is confirmed herein by Kunti. The less intelligent persons are those who rebel against the authority of the Lord. Who are these persons? Duryodhana and company. And there are many more. In Kali Yuga, everyone is the follower of Duryodhana. Hardly there is anyone of Arjuna lineage. Most of the people are in Duryodhana's party. So such people rebel against the authority of the Lord. Such persons are known as asuras. The asuras cannot recognize the Lord's authority. When the Lord himself appears amongst us as Rama Narasimha Vara, or in his original form as Kṛṣṇa, he performed many wonderful acts which are humanly impossible, as we shall find in the 10th canto of this great literature. Lord Shri Krishna exhibited his humanly impossible activities even from the days of his lying on the lap of his mother. Nato natyam yathodara. Prabhupada is explaining this. So what is the child-like act that he performed? Super excellent act. He killed the Putana witch, although she smeared her breast with poison just to kill the Lord. The Lord sucked her breast like a natural baby, and he sucked out her very life also. Similarly, he lifted the Govardhan hill just as a boy picks up a frog's umbrella and stood several days continuously just to give protection to the residents of Vrindavan. These are some of the superhuman activities of the Lord described in the authoritative Vedic literatures like the Puranas, Itihasas, and Upanishads. He has delivered wonderful instructions in the shape of the Bhagavad Gita. He has shown marvelous capacities as a hero, as a householder, as a teacher, and as a renouncer. And he is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by such authoritative persons as Vyasa, Devala, Asita, Narada, Madhava, Shankara, Ramanuja, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jeev Goswami, Vishnu Chakravarti, Bhakti Siddhant, and all other authorities. Prabhupada does not name himself. And he says all other authorities of that time. Today is also the incorporation day of ISKCON. The Prabhupada incorporated ISKCON to continue this lineage and make everyone come in the same lineage and become as all other authorities of ISKCON. He himself has declared as much as in many places of the authentic literatures. And yet there is a class of men with demonic mentality who are always reluctant to accept the Lord as the supreme absolute truth. This is partially due to their poor fund of knowledge, and that is Agya. Maya Jamanika Channa is Agya Adhokshaja Avyaya. This is because of poor fund of knowledge and partially due to their stubborn obstinacy. Another feature of conditioned soul is, one is that he is Agya, he is ignorant, he lacks knowledge, and as Prabhupada is diagnosing here, and he is also very stubborn and he is very obstinate. That means he does not want to change, he does not want to learn, or he does not want to improve, which results from various misdeeds in the past and present. And why this nature of obstinacy or rebelliousness is there? Because of various misdeeds in the past and present. But the problem is that the person continues to perform such misdeeds both in the present and will continue to suffer in the future. Such persons could not recognize Lord Sri Krishna even when he was present before them. Another difficulty is that who depend more on their imperfect senses cannot realize him as the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada explained Agya, and now he is explaining Adhokshaja, who is beyond the material sense perception. So people depend more on their imperfect senses, cannot realize him as the Supreme Lord. Such persons are like the modern scientists. They want to know everything by their experimental knowledge, but it is not possible to know the Supreme Person by imperfect experimental knowledge. He is described here as Adhokshaja, or beyond the range of experimental knowledge. All our senses are imperfect. We claim to observe everything and anything, but we must admit that we can observe things under certain material conditions only, which are also beyond our control. The Lord is beyond the observation of sense perception. Queen Kunti accepts this deficiency of the conditioned soul, especially of the women class who are less intelligent. For less intelligent men, there must be such things as temple, mosques, or churches, so that they may begin to recognize the authority of the Lord and hear about him from authorities in such holy places. For less intelligent men, this beginning of the spiritual life is essential, and only foolish men decry the establishment of such places of worship, which are required to raise the standard of spiritual attributes for the mass of people. So Prabhupada opened so many temples, and his followers are following in his footsteps, because this will provide the less intelligent people of the Kali Yuga to come to spiritual awakening. Prabhupada says a very, very revolutionary statement. This statement has very much inspired me for so many years. I read this many, many years back. Prabhupada says, for less intelligent persons, bowing down before the authority of the Lord, as generally done in the temples, mosques, or churches, is as beneficial as it is for the advanced devotees to meditate upon him by active service. Understood the statement of Srila Prabhupada? For less intelligent persons, bowing down before the authority of the Lord, as generally done in the temple, mosques, or churches, is as beneficial as it is for the advanced devotee to meditate upon him by active service. What it means? माननीय माता जी, आप बताइए इसका क्या अर्थ है?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभु जी, जैसे लेस इंटेलिजेंट पीपुल लोग मतलब दंडवत प्रणाम करके भी वही लाभ उनको मिलता है जो कि उच्च मतलब थोड़े सिंसियर डिवोटी है, जो लोग की भगवान का सेवा कर रहे हैं।
उत्तम भक्त की बात कर रहे हैं। हाँ, सही कहा आपने। अगर आप केवल भगवान के श्री विग्रह के सामने जाके दंडवत प्रणाम करेंगे तो आपको भी उतना ही लाभ होगा जितना कि एक शुद्ध या उन्नत भक्त को लाभ होता है भगवान की प्रत्यक्ष सेवा करके। इसलिए भगवान ने कहा, मन मना भव मद भक्तो मध्याजीवाम नमस्कुरु। नमस्कार, नमस्कार का चमत्कार है। इसीलिए इसलिए रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी अर्च विग्रह को 1000 बार प्रणाम करते। ब्रह्म में शायद ही कोई ऐसा होगा जो कि एक दिन में कभी भी 10 बार प्रणाम किया है विग्रहों को। करते ही नहीं है, करना ही नहीं चाहते। मैंने देखा एक भक्त को, जब मैं पहली बार जगन्नाथ जी की रथ यात्रा में गया था, शायद 2006 या 2007 था, 2006 था। वो 2 कदम चलता, फिर दंडवत करता, फिर डांस करता, फिर दंडवत करता, फिर डांस करता, फिर दंडवत करता। सोचा तो भैया ये क्या कर रहा है। वो जगन्नाथ जी के लिए उसके हृदय में इतना भाव था, इतना उमंग था। राधानाथ महाराज का शिष्य हुआ, अभी वो राधानाथ महाराज की शिक्षा लिया है। राधानाथ महाराज ने उसका नाम दिया है जगन्नाथ दास। जब हम लोग गए थे पुरी तो हमारे प्रसाद की व्यवस्था मैंने उनसे करवाई थी भुवनेश्वर में। वो मैं कभी भूल नहीं सकता। उसने कम से कम 100 से तो ज्यादा बार जगन्नाथ जी को रथ यात्रा के सामने पढ़ा। यहाँ प्रभुपाद जी दिख रहे नहीं तो क्या बने रहेंगे, अज्ञा ही रहेंगे। ना लक्ष्य है मूढ़ दिशा, माया जमनिका छन्नम अज्ञा अधोक्षजम अव्ययम। ना लक्ष्य है मूढ़ दिशा, नटो नाट्य ध्रुव। और ये दोनों श्लोक याद करिए, ठीक है? कल मैं ये दोनों श्लोक आप लोगों से सुनूंगा, उसके बाद आगे कंटिन्यू करूंगा, वरना आप याद करेंगे नहीं। सारे प्रभु जी लोगों से तो पक्का सुनूंगा, क्योंकि सबसे बड़े बेईमान ये लोग हैं। ये कुछ भी नहीं याद करते, ये समझते हैं ये ईश्वरा परम हो गए हैं, ये कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है। मत खाओ मुझे चलेगा, एक दिन मत खाओ कुछ नहीं होगा, लेकिन 10 बार लिखो और याद करो। समझ रहे हो? मनोराम, प्रणव, गणेश, हाँ, ये सारे लोग सुन लो। प्रदीप, कल बिना ये दोनों श्लोक सुनाए आगे नहीं बढ़ने दो। हरे कृष्ण। बोलिए रम्य।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
प्रभु जी, क्या मैं सुना सकती हूँ?
वेरी गुड, बोलिए।
कुंती उवाचा नमस्ते पुरुषां त्वाद्यम ईश्वर प्रकृते परे
परम,
आलक्ष्यम
ईश्वरा
सर्वभूतानां
प्रकृति परे नहीं है, ईश्वरा
परम
प्रकृति परम। अभी समझाया ना?
परम।
देखो, क्योंकि क्या है, पहले उसके उस पर जाओ, उस प्रसंग में जाओ। अब जब कुंती देवी भगवान की स्तुति करने लगी तो भगवान शर्मा गए ना, क्योंकि क्या है, उनके भतीजे हैं। बोले क्या कर रही हो बुआ? हाँ, मुझे क्यों नमस्कार कर रही हो, मुझे क्यों प्रणाम कर रही हो? विश्वनाथ ठाकुर अपनी टीका में लिखते हैं। तो बोले ना ना, तुम मेरे खाली भतीजे नहीं हो, हाँ, मुझसे तुम छुप नहीं सकते, क्योंकि तुम क्या हो, ईश्वरा। तो बोले ईश्वर तो बहुत सारे हैं मुझे क्यों कर रहे हो? आप चंद्र को करो, इंद्र को करो, सूर्य को करो, ब्रह्मा को करो। बोले ना ना, उसमें से जितने भी हैं वो कोई भी प्रकृति के स्वामी और परम नहीं है। तो इसलिए ईश्वरा प्रकृति परम। इसलिए मैंने इतना समझाने का प्रयास किया, ठीक है? सही पकड़ना, उस सही भावना को पकड़ो जिससे कुंती देवी बोल रही है। बहुत अच्छा आपने याद किया, लेकिन वो पैरेट वाला याद करने से कोई फायदा नहीं होगा, उस भावना के साथ याद करो, ठीक है? दोबारा बोलो।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा।
कुन्ती uvāca namasye puruṣaṁ tvādyam īśvara prakriti param alakṣyam sarva-bhūtānām antar bahir avasthitam।
बहुत अच्छा, ठीक है। अब इसके
माया
मीनिंग पे
जब
मेडिटेट, रुको रुको रुको, इसके मीनिंग, इसलिए मैंने इतना टाइम लिया। हाँ, मैंने अपनी क्लास चालू की थी लगभग 8:40 से, अभी 9:18 हो गया है, तो 20 और 18, 38 मिनट में केवल 2 श्लोक एक्सप्लेन ही किया हूँ। इसीलिए एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ ताकि उसकी जो फीलिंग है वो समझ में आए, जो कुंती देवी की फीलिंग है, बहुत डीप प्रोफाउंड फीलिंग है, रियलाइजेशन के साथ है। ईश्वरा प्रकृते परम अलक्ष्यम सर्वभूतानाम। वो अलक्ष्यम सर्वभूतानाम क्यों है? क्योंकि वो अधोक्षजम है, ठीक है। तो बहुत अच्छा आपने याद किया। दूसरा भी बोल दो, बोलो। माया जवनिका छन्न।
माया जवनिका
हाँ,
छन्न अज्ञ अधोक्षजम अव्ययम न लक्ष्यसे मूढ़ग्रस नटो नाट्यधरो हरः।
नटो नाट्यम धरो यथा।
यथा।
हाँ, जिस प्रकार से जब कोई एक्टर, हाँ, जब कोई व्यक्ति किसी एक्टर की किसी रोल की एक्टिंग करता है तो वो पकड़ में नहीं आता, पहचान में नहीं आता, वो अपनी पहचान क्या कर लेता है? छिपा लेता है। तो इसी प्रकार से कृष्ण जब अवतरित हुए तो बाकी लोग समझ नहीं पाए कि ये ईश्वरा प्रकृति परम है। ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा। क्या हुआ, वीडियो क्यों ऑफ किया? और कौन कौन से वर्ष याद कर रखे हैं? चलो बहुत अच्छा है। हाँ, दिस इज कॉल्ड फर्स्ट क्लास। हाँ, ये तो एक्सीलेंट क्लास है। फर्स्ट क्लास भी क्या है, एक्सीलेंट क्लास है कि जिस समय कहा उसी समय कर दिया। तो अभी बाकी लोगों के लिए है, और आप आगे के याद कर लो। रम्या, आप आगे के सारे याद कर लो। मैं आपको शेयर
जी
करता हूँ।
प्रभु जी।
आपको कहा, जब मुझे 2014 में वो ट्रबल हुआ था हेल्थ का, तो मैं दिन भर बैठे हुए कुंती देवी की प्रेयर ही याद करता रहता था, सब याद कर लिया। और बिलीव मी,
प्रभु जी।
मुझे बॉडीली जितना डिस्कम्फर्ट था कुछ भी पता नहीं चलता था। डॉक्टर कई बार आके बोलते थे आपको पेन नहीं होता है क्या? मैंने कहा पेन तो होता है। बोले लेकिन आप सह ले रहे हो। मैं क्या सह रहा था? ये प्रेयर से इतनी सहन शक्ति मिलती है। तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। लाइफ में अप्स एंड डाउन तो आएंगे जब तक हम इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में हैं, हाँ? और मन और बुद्धि से आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, लेकिन हम इन प्रार्थनाओं को, इन पर्सनैलिटीज के साथ कनेक्टेड रहेंगे तो हमें बहुत लाभ होगा। अब आपने इतना कुछ कहा है तो मैं आपको एक वर्ष जरूर दिखाऊंगा। हाँ, बहुत ही विशेष वर्ष है, उसके ऊपर हम आज ही चर्चा कर रहे हैं। हमारा भक्ति वैभव वास्ते शुरू हुआ है ना। और देखिए, अगर सुनने की इच्छा हो तो भगवान सब कुछ करा देते हैं। मुझे 2 बजे जाना पड़ा गुड़गांव, क्योंकि वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट काम था, उसको मैं छोड़ नहीं सकता था। मैंने पूरी क्लास सुन ली 2 बजे से लेके पूरे 3:30 बजे तक, क्योंकि लाइव टेलीकास्ट हो रहा था क्लास का, और आई वॉज दी ओनली व्यूअर। और मैं 3:40 पे अपने डेस्टिनेशन पे पहुंचा, कोई और सुन नहीं रहा था। तो अगर आप सुनना चाहें तो जरूर सुनेंगे, भगवान कुछ ना कुछ आपके लिए अरेंजमेंट कर देंगे। हाँ, कोई अवरोध है नहीं, अवरोध हमारा है कि हमारी इच्छा बहुत वीक है। अच्छा, आप ये सुनिए, मैं श्लोक दिखाता हूँ मैं आपको। मनोराम तुम दिखाओ यार अभी। हाँ, वो है 3rd canto 13th chapter and verse number 4। श्रुतस्य पुंसा शुचिराश्रमस्य। जल्दी दिखाओ, टाइम बहुत हो गया है, 9:22 हुआ है। रम्या सुन रही हो या ऑफ हो गई?
हाँ कृष्ण प्रभु जी, सुन रही हूँ प्रभु जी।
आपने और ये बाकी भी वर्सेस याद किए कुंती देवी के?
जी प्रभु जी, क्योंकि मुझे प्रेगनेंसी में अच्छा लगता था तो मैं डेली सुनती थी।
बहुत अच्छा। हम्म, ये श्लोक है, विदुर जी बोल रहे हैं मैत्री मुनि को। श्रुतस्य पुंसा शुचिराश्रमस्य नानावञ्जसा सुरभिरिदितोऽर्थः तत्तद्गुणानुश्रवणं मुकुन्द पादारविन्दं हृदेषु येषाम्. So Shrutasya Pumsaha, of the persons who are in the process of hearing, how they are hearing Suchira for a long time and Shramasya by hard labor. Here is not to hearing, to continue hearing is not easy. You have to do some extra labor. Come down quickly. I'll see the translation. The persons who hear from spiritual master with great labor. Why that is labor? Because to hear with attention is not easy. The mind is always giving us so much distractions. So we have to focus, we have to put attention. Because we have to put attention, that is great labor. The persons who hear from spiritual master with great labor for a long time must hear from the mouth of pure devotees about the character and activities of pure devotees. So this is what we are hearing. The character and activities of pure devotees, of whom? Of Parikshit Maharaj. Pure devotees always think within their heart of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, who award his devotees liberation. And come down, let's see what Prabhupada is saying. Come down. Yes, wait. Prabhupada says, pure devotees of the Lord are as glorious as the Lord. They are in fact recommended by the Lord as more worshipable than he himself. Worship of the devotee is more potent than worship of the Lord. It is therefore the duty of the transcendental student to hear of pure devotees as explained by similar devotees of the Lord. Because one cannot explain about the Lord or his devotee unless one happens to be a pure devotee himself. Okay. बंद कर लो. So I was contemplating on how these acharyas, how important it is to hear about the acharyas. Because if we just hear about the acharyas, we are pleasing the Lord much more. And we are hearing the first 9 cantos, what we are doing only this one thing. We are hearing about the glories and the activities of those who are very dear to Kṛṣṇa. And foremost of them are the Pandavas. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here. I won't take any question if you have. We'll take it tomorrow. But everyone you see, Ramya has already set the standard. She has already memorized. Manoram, समझ गए? Ravinder, Ganesh, Pradeep, Pranav, and everyone else. बिना सुने आगे नहीं बढ़ूंगा तुमने. सबको बोलना पड़ेगा. हरे कृष्णा. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय.